right, good morning. We're glad to be with you guys this morning. We will start with introductions of ourselves and ask you guys to introduce yourselves. And then we'll read the question that you'll be presenting on. My name is, what's that? They are team 6. My name is Carolyn Shaw. I'm a professor of political science at Wichita State University.
Good morning, everybody. I am State Senator Olitha Faust-Trudeau, and I represent Robertson Middle School in Topeka at the state capitol.
I'm Ernestine Crable, and I'm on the Wichita School Board.
Please.
My
name is Aditya Sudakshari.
My name is Anthony Lamb.
My name is Rafael Martinez.
Thank you. So we are going to ask you to address question 2.1.
What number are they?
They are team number 6. So I will read the question and then we'll ask our timekeeper to begin. So the question is, the Declaration of Independence told the world why the Americans wanted to free themselves from British rule. The Declaration stated the founders' belief about government. Using the Declaration as your source, in your own words, describe the principles of good government. Where did the founders get these ideas? Do you think these principles are valid today? Why or why not?
The Declaration of Independence set the groundwork for the new United States and showed the world, particularly France, Spain, and the other colonies, that the patriots were prepared and ready to fight the British for their independence. The Declaration was written to tell Parliament and King George III that the colonies wanted their independence back, and why. It stated that King George had taken their freedoms and that they had no say in the government. A good government gives the people representation and rights. This is what the founders believed to be true and which has been proven to be true.
One of the Patriots' biggest struggles after the Revolutionary War was making a good, strong government that fixed the problems of monarchy and gave the people the freedoms they fought for and deserved. In the Declaration of Independence, the founders state that a government is instituted to secure the unalienable rights of the governed. These rights include life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. So when the government takes these away, quote, it is the people's duty to throw off such government, end quote. A good government doesn't restrict the rights of the people. The Bill of Indictment from the Declaration states all the wrongdoings King George III had done. One of the 4 sections in the Declaration solely listed the incorrect and corrupt wrongdoings the king had committed. The leaders of the government should not be corrupt or be higher than their own laws.
The Bill of Indictment has 27 grievances. A high amount of them are describing how the king has taken away the representation of the common people, including for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent. All 27 grievances are of injustice. Government has to be fair and give a voice to the people. Governments without those values are few and destined to fail. The founders knew that they needed a good government to keep the people happy and make the United States prosperous. The founders found great inspiration from the old Roman Republic. The Roman Empire inspired the new nation to become a republic. That way the government would be fair and give everyone a voice.
The Patriots also turned to British history. The Magna Carta and the English Bill of Rights were documents that limited the power of the king and queen, but also gave the people their rights. The founders used all these sources when deciding on the government they needed. They made the central government enumerated in its powers so as not to be abused. The principles of a good government have always been the same and will be that way forever. A government needs to be good and fair, but also give the people representation and their unalienable rights. To this day, governments like South Korea, the USA, India, and Japan have governments with rising economies and relative space. If they are to face rebellion, they are no longer fair or working for the common welfare. People need the government to secure their rights. Without it, the world would be in anarchy. People trade in some of their freedoms for protection. If the freedoms lost outweighs the protection received, the people protest and rebel if necessary. A good government is a fair government with representation and rights for the people. The government of the patriots is the pinnacle of centuries of trial and error to make the American rule the best it can be. The government raised so well will continue on for years to come as a government that is powerful in its limitations, decisive through its diplomacy, and respected in its accountability.
All right, thank you very much. We'll now take some time to ask you some additional questions about what you've researched and what you thought and learned through reading these documents. I want to start by asking how closely you think the ideals of the Declaration are represented in the Constitution.
In the Declaration of Independence, the 27 bills of indictment state the reasons why the Patriots were mad and angry at the U.S. government. So when they wrote the Constitution to replace the Articles of Confederation, they wrote in things to make their government strong, but also give them their rights that they had only wanted in the first place. For example, their freedom of speech, the British government did not give them that. And so they wanted change and they had to rebel.
Anyone want to add anything to that? All right, thank you.
Actually, so, for example, like the British also taxed the colonists without their consent. And so, for example, like the Tea Act, they imposed taxes on tea. And then the colonists rebelled by having the Boston Tea Party, involving the dumping of a lot of barrels of tea into the ocean.
Thank you. Ernestine, would you like to ask a question?
Do you agree with the principles of good government that are outlined in the Declaration? If so, explain.
Well, we agree with what the Declaration had because it helped create the U.S. we have today and gave us our freedoms which we needed.
Like a good government doesn't restrict the rights of the people, and so if like they were to get rid of our rights, I don't think we would have many freedoms at that point.
The Constitution and later the Bill of Rights were written to protect our freedoms, like the Patriots wanted for their country. So as of today, those rights have still been protected, and that is something very important to the U.S. Vision and dream.
You mentioned in your presentation several examples you thought that were good governments today beyond the U.S. And I'm curious, why do you think the Declaration is one of the most imitated documents around the world? Why do other people draw on that when they write their own documents?
During the colonization period, many colonies of Europe they also didn't have a government or representation. So when the U.S. rebelled and actually defeated the UK, one of the biggest superpowers at the time, and they wrote their declaration, many other governments or many other colonies, for example, South America as a whole, they very much liked it and they wanted to be free on their own because they didn't have their voice and they didn't have what they needed for what a good government would be.
I think for today, I think governments are influenced by how successful the U.S. is, how our economy, even though we have so much debt, and our peace, freedom that we have.
I'd like to add on to what my friend Rafael had said. Since the U.S. had defeated such a big superpower such as Great Britain at the time, people were probably amazed and shocked by how such a small group of colonies was able to win a war against one of the biggest nations in the world at the time. So they were incredibly influenced by how they were able to pull through to the battle.
Good morning. So my question is, how important was it to have the Declaration read aloud in public squares to the population in 1776?
It was important because it helped the people realize that they're getting their independence from Great Britain and that they're being free. Since most people at that time didn't know how to read, and so it helped them greatly to be read to about their new freedom and new country that they were from.
I think the Declaration of Independence was written during like a war between British and the U.S. So George Washington reading it to his soldiers was like a great morale boost, and so they weren't about to rebel against the government or anything. So
Well, I would like to ask you, in the Declaration, they said life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The original document they copied said life, liberty, and property. Why do you suppose that they put that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness?
The pursuit of happiness is very much a more broad term. Property and many other things could be included in the pursuit of happiness. So, and also, many people at the time did not have property. So, for the Declaration to be read aloud, and the right to property was one of the rights highlighted in the Declaration.
We out of time? We're out of time.
Oh, well, thank you.